Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Major Push Wrestling. I am your host, Gino, and today we are going to talk about some good topics that we have going for you today, primarily Cena's final Raw. Been having some technical difficulties I've been trying to work through, so that is why the episodes haven't been uploading and I haven't been able to do it live, but I look forward coming in towards the end of the year to be able to really get that software down and provide you guys a live experience for these videos. For now, it'll still just be a premiere upload just like it is. Now, with that out of the way, this past Monday in Madison Square Garden was Cena's final Monday Night Raw. Say what you want about whether or not he'll come back for a Saudi Mania if the money's right or anything like that. I truly believe him when he says he is done wrestling. So, with that said, this was the final Raw, the final wrestling appearance that we'll have from Cena. He might show up for a Raw to do an announcement or something along those lines, but I don't believe that that's going to be at least for until 2026. So, which I know 2025 is almost over, but I think it would be like late 2026, almost early 2027 if we get him on WWE television again. Now, he had come out, he's now the new Intercontinental Champion, which if he's not going to retire with the championship, which I don't know if that's the smartest idea, that means that in his final run, we will have two matches against Dominic Mysterio, which is great on one hand because it really helps elevate Dominic. He looks super comfortable in the ring with Cena when he's talking and they're going back and forth. Dominic is really doing everything that he needs to do with the time and the opportunity that he's being given with Cena. And that's spectacular. And we love new stars. Dominic is obviously going to be one of the major stars for the next 5, 10 years of WWE television. But there are so many people that the fans want to see Cena face, that probably wrestlers want to face Cena. And so much so that we're having a tournament to decide his final opponent. Me personally, I want to see a Cena versus Joe Hendry match. Other than me having been able to become a full-time WWE wrestler, which my body gave up on me years ago, so that's not happening. As Cena's former camper in West Newbury, Massachusetts, that story would have been a great story. Since that's not going to happen, we have the opportunity to have Joe Hendry, who, when he was 15, actually got on a phone and was able to talk to John Cena, and then they even had dialogue backstage at WrestleMania. Joe Hendry has put it out in the universe that he does want to face Cena on his CVV interview, and everything that Hendry's put out in the universe so far seems to have come true. He hit the Rumble, he hit Mania, he's doing all these things. And now he's signed with WWE, but he's not in the tournament. He's not one of the surprise entrances in that tournament. So I'm still holding out hope, but at this point, all signs point to Gunther. Now, with Cena's final year, he has had the opportunity to wrestle against more people than he's actually wrestled against. I get it. His body's got to recover. His body's got to heal. That's the reason why he's retiring, is because his body can't do it anymore. However, having two matches against the same opponent feels a little, even though it's Dominic and he can put him over, it feels a little underwhelming. At the beginning of that, I know Cena needed to get back into some maybe wrestling shape, but he would just come out and talk, or he would come out, try to talk, not be able to talk, and then just listen to Cody or things like that. So obviously he did the Rumble, he did Elimination Chamber, but I feel like like having him on a show and not wrestling maybe wasn't the smartest idea. Having these number of dates in mind is ominous, but also kind of paints them into a corner. I don't know if his schedule is not allowing this or what have you, but I feel like you could have had him on more shows. This is his farewell tour. Just like with Kobe Bryant, people in every city are going to want to see him. They're going to go not to see their favorites or not to see the fans of their city. They're going to go to see the guy who's retiring, who gave them countless years of quality entertainment. Now, do I have other wrestlers in mind that I would like to have seen him potentially face? Yeah, absolutely. I've already mentioned Joe Hendry. We have the returning Dolph Ziggler. We have a returning Zack Ryder, all of which have history. I'd like, Rusev has history. Sheamus has history, but Sheamus is, I believe he's still in the tournament, but he joined him on Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio has history with him. He joined him on Monday Night Raw. So all of those things, they're not wrestling against each other. There's still great moments. JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio now will be three times that he's gotten in the ring with Cena. Brock Lesnar got in there, destroyed him. We had two matches against Cody, which is understandable because he had the title, but now we're getting two matches with Dominic. I don't think Cody benefited the way that they wanted him to have after the championship, regaining the title. So I'm just maybe not the most happy with how they've decided his dates and his dance partners. So obviously we had our Randy Ortons, we're CM Punks, and Cena's never been the heel in those situations, and that's all good and dandy. Um, it feels like the timing of all of the heel turn and the face turn was corresponding to the WWE Unreal on Netflix. Like they needed content for that, as if normal, like traditional WWE backstage stuff wasn't good enough to be sold on its own. So there are some things that are different. Now, as far as the heel turn goes, on the last episode that I have posted, I talked about why I believe that, okay, maybe his heel run didn't work, but his heel turn leading to his eventual return as a face worked in spades for me because nobody is chanting John Cena sucks. Nobody is saying you can't wrestle. They're just happy to see him. And I don't believe that that would have happened without having the heel turn and then the face turn. At the end of the day, if he's in control of what he's doing, which I believe he has been given the opportunity to be in control, but Cena's such a company guy, I'm sure he's just trying to do whatever's best for business, whatever Triple H and TKO and Nick Khan want and think. And the problem with being an armchair booker is that we get to see it done after the fact, and then we get to critique it. All in all, I'm really happy that we've had John Cena here for his final run. Most people don't get to go out like that. But then again, if it is Gunther and we know it's his last match, like there's something lost in wrestling storytelling when there's a wrestler who is having their final match and we know it's a retirement match. Like there's almost no chance of them winning, so it's predictable. And now it's going to be on Saturday Night's Main Event. And then last time Gunther did that, he beat Goldberg to retire him, and Goldberg had like 30 seconds to be thanked by the fans. And I believe that Cena should have the spotlight for the majority of the night. Obviously, he had announced that he's going to have young up and comers wrestling on the show against veterans to showcase them, and that's great. That's a great way to give back. That lets me believe that maybe he's not losing, but if he's against Gunther, he kind of needs to lose because if you're going to choose stories out there that he chose to lose and get squashed by Lesnar because Lesnar's going to be around and Cena's not. So the same logic would apply to Gunther and then the Intercontinental Championship with Dominic. So is it the exact way that I would have wanted it to have happened? No. Am I still happy with it? Absolutely. At the end of the day, though, wrestling is one of those unique entertainments where we can be critical because we know it's staged. We know it's planned. You can be critical of a football game and calling plays and whatever, but emotions get high, you caught up in the moment, all these things, and you don't really get to decide who's winning, who's losing. So, or who the schedule puts you guys up against. So it really just then becomes if you're critiquing it, you have every right to, because there are other things and we know we're more in control than any other entertainment. Even TV shows, traditional TV shows. Yes, it's written, yes, it's predetermined, but it's all pretty much done before it airs. And so the fans can critique it, but there's really not much input that can be lead to change. At the end of the day, I would love to see Cena put over Joe Hendry. I believe he's going to be putting over Gunther. At I just two retirement matches in 1 year with Gunther, and he just got his new music or his old music back and stuff. So it's probably going to be entertaining. It's probably going to be one of these bangers of a matches that Cena's been having. You could argue that three of his five best matches have happened this year, and that is something that you could have done, whether it was a heel or a face turn. You could have done all this stuff, but then you have that triple threat tag match or the 3-on-3 tag match, and he's using the five moves of dooms, and everybody loves it, like I have all these years. So either way, guys, that was just some of my thoughts for this episode of Major Push Wrestling Talk Show. We look forward to get back on a regular track starting next week. I'm going to be focusing on downloading OBS and making sure I can work that and get it live for you guys. But for right now, we'll do this premiere episode type situation still at least one more time until we can finally get it up and running. And I'll get C-Rod and Tomas and Sonny and some of the guys from No DQ coming on here as well. And I hope you guys enjoy and you stay tuned. So from Gino here with Major Push Wrestling Talk Show, I appreciate all your love and support. Don't forget to comment below and let me know if you guys think that I'm wrong, I'm right, what your thoughts are, whether we agree or whether we disagree. That's the best thing about being a wrestling fan is the ability to talk and think about it and potentially even have influence on it. So with that down, guys, as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.